Imagine getting paid just for sharing your thoughts on products and services you use every day. With Survey Junkie, it's that simple. Click on the link in the video description to discover how you can start earning today by taking surveys.
Do they come in peace? The question has hung over the UFO mystery forever, but a new study comes closer to an answer than ever before. Since the United States detonated its first atomic bomb at the Trinity test site in 1945, dozens of accounts of UFOs have been logged by military witnesses and government scientists working with America's sensitive nuclear arsenal. Skeptics have often turned to questioning the veracity and the memories of these military witnesses, or blaming faulty equipment. But the connection between UFOs and nuclear sites has persisted in India, Russia, and elsewhere across the globe, leading many to wonder, are aliens stopping us from exterminating ourselves? Now a new, decades-long study has analyzed over 500 of the best-supported UFO cases from the heights of the Cold War and hauntingly concluded, this intelligence understands atomics, and they understand atomic weaponry. UFO reports over America's nuclear arsenal appeared to shift from sites where the bombs were made to missile silos and U.S. air bases as the Cold War arms race grew. That's one of the key findings from the new work, a series of 3 studies led by a retired U.S. Air Force Staff Sergeant, Larry Hancock, and a data analyst affiliate with Harvard's UFO hunting Galileo project, Ian Porritt, along with their research team. The group focused their analysis on official military and police reports of UFOs from 1945 to 1975, avoiding poorly supported accounts and ambiguous newspaper stories, to focus on cases with multiple witnesses and signals evidence, like radar. Their study, which only covered U.S. cases, also used reports of UFOs spotted above non-nuclear army bases and nearby civilian centers to act as control groups to test against their findings of any UFO trends at America's sensitive nuclear installations. Their qualified, but haunting conclusion, data from this 3-decade-long period lends credence to the idea that extraterrestrials, or some other intelligence, has methodically surveilled America's rise to a nuclear power. This intelligence understands the developmental cycle. They have some contextual knowledge of what they're looking at and what they're looking for, Hancock told DailyMail.com, given these shifts in reported UFO sightings over time. Hancock and Porritt's most recent report on the connection, UAP Activity Pattern Study 1945 to 1975 Military and Public Activities, was published in March and presented before the Scientific Coalition for UAP Studies this past weekend. Among the hundreds of cases included in their analysis was the infamous March 16, 1967 Malmstrom case in which Air Force witnesses reported that 10 nuclear missiles were switched off by a UFO, confirmed by a U.S. Strategic Air Command report. It is the third study by Hancock and his co-authors, who told DailyMail.com that future work on this connection between UFO sightings and nuclear sites is on the way. From 1948 to 1952, as America's production of atomic weapons first ramped up, waves of UFO sightings began cropping up over Washington State's Hanford Nuclear Production Complex, as well as Los Alamos and other sites for the Manhattan Project. What we know now is that, inside the Air Force for the first 7 to 10 years they sincerely believed it was the Russians, Hancock told DailyMail.com. And when they couldn't prove that, he said, it became very political. This phase of the Air Force's official UFO investigations, when paired with that era's police UFO reports, documented over 40 cases of UFOs seen near these facilities. In one illustrative case from May 21, 1949, Hanford personnel spotted a silvery, disc-shaped UFO hovering over the plant, whose B reactor had generated the plutonium used in the first atomic bomb test at Trinity. The UFO was simultaneously tracked on radar by nearby Moses Lake Air Force Base, which scrambled an F-82 fighter jet to intercept it in hopes that it might be a disc, according to a now declassified Air Intelligence Information report. UFOs were faster than jet, Air Force investigators noted of the failed pursuit. These years of strange encounters were much more likely to have occurred in broad daylight than later years of UFO sightings and often involved multiple UFOs in formation performing dazzling maneuvers, Hanford and his co-authors found. And, for each of the 4 major U.S. nuclear weapons-making facilities, they also call